So a little earlier, I'm pulling up to an appointment, and it's on a busy street, and I see this elderly man kind of seated along the side of the sidewalk. It's like on a hill. These homes are all along a steep hill, and he's on the high side of the hill of the sidewalk, and it looked like he was taking a rest in the shade, and he's waving his arm at me, and I assumed he was telling me like, "Oh, you can park anywhere in here," because I was kind of hesitating and stopped, like trying to figure out where to go. And so I parked the car, and then as I'm walking up to my appointment, I realized he wasn't actually trying to help me park. He was actually trying to wave me down because he needed help, and I didn't understand that at the time. So he sticks out his arm and says, "Can you please help me up?" I'm like, "Gladly." So I help this guy up. Very frail, elderly man. He's got a cane in one hand and a grocery bag in the other. I help him up, and I like do my best to like kick some of the pine cones on the sidewalk out of the way and clear some of the pine needles, but it's like I don't know where he's going or how far, but this is not a safe walk for an elderly man. This like crickety kind of old sidewalk on the edge of a hill, and so I'm just like, man, be careful, have a good one. And I keep walking, and I rush up to my appointment, and then about 10 minutes into my appointment, through the window I see him coming up the stairs in this neighboring house. And this is a decent set of stairs coming up to the house because, again, these homes are on a steep hill. And my heart broke because I realized, had I known he was right in front of his own house, I could have just let him put his arm on my shoulder and walked him right up to his front door. But I didn't understand. I didn't ask the right questions. So I got really convicted like, man, I dropped the ball. I could have helped that elderly man a lot more. And I kind of just helped him up and left him hanging. We're walking outside the house, doing a tour of the outside of the house, and then one of the neighbors, his house, his daughter and her family were there, and they step out and they say, and the daughter goes, "Who here helped my father up?" And I go, "That was me." And she goes, "Thank you so much." She goes, "We rushed here as soon as we realized he had fallen. It took us like 45 minutes to get here, but thank you for helping him." And again, I felt honored that I could help him, but I also felt very convicted that I didn't understand and didn't ask the right questions to really help him even more with what really wasn't a lot. And so I share all that just because it was slightly rewarding, but even more so convicting that it's so important that we ask the right questions, and that even and when we're going places, even don't show up on time, show up a little early, because you never know when someone's got a flat tire, someone needs some help, an elderly person fell over. Having that extra margin is always a wonderful thing. And that was a good little lesson for me that man, it wouldn't have taken a lot more, and I could have really helped this guy. So something to think about as we rush along in our busy little days.